kissed the sky. Excuse her while she kissed the sky. Excuse her while she kissed the sky.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Today's matchup could be a drag-em-out brawl as both teams rank in the top 10 in fewest yards allowed. The Jags are top 10 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Falcons, who will need to find a way to move the football. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State and Everbank Field here in Jacksonville. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. And he'll get it up the middle. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. All right, let's look at the offense. Devontae Freeman, this is a guy that you wanted to talk about, so take it away.
Brandon, have you seen a running back play with such joy as well as such fury? I love the way he runs the football and attacks defenses.
10 yards still left on second down.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Set! Green!
Again, they'll run with Freeman. He takes this for 3 to the 29. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
Malik Jackson is very steady and awfully productive.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
You got three down.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Surveying the field. He's got a man complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And the box that's highlighted is for Hearns on this offense.
Do you have your track shoes available? Because Allen Hearns is a guy that gets you on your horse if you're trying to defend him. He can take anyone deep and win on any route.
On second down, Lynch. Paul bringing it in. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it.
And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end.
Four down. Check.
Now Lynch on first down. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Watch left.
Defense showing blitz.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. And here now the defensive starters for Atlanta.
Vic Beasley's a very talented outside linebacker whose number one task, rush the passer. But he has the athletic ability to drop into coverage.
On the run, this is Jackson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. That 2nd down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are you going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Check 53. All day.
Lynch now throwing on 3rd. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Call it a gain of 7, and it gives him a new set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
Four down.
Let's go. 3-19.
On 2nd down, here's Lynch. Under pressure, and they got to him again. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say, when you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so to pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
So 2nd and 10 here. So the D-line's going to spread out.
Four down.
They come up with an offset out. On second down, Freeman. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. They come out here in the eye.
Watch it now, Barney. Here we go now. Over.
On 3rd and short, they'll try nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually get kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here.
Single, slop. Hey, you're on an island over there.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Let's go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Tight end left. We got three. Here we go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And now out come the Jags. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
319. Gone.
Lynch looking to throw on second. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49.
Watch him now, Barney. Here we go. Blue line.
From midfield now, here's Lynch. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's got his big receiver, Robinson, for the Jacksonville touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. It's good to make it 17-7. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Here's Myers now to kick it away. It's a short kick taken near the 18. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking left sideline, it's complete. Touchdown, Falcons! A big play there. His his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. And he knocks it through. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, here we go. 319. 319. Now let's go. Green 39.
They'll run it with Jackson. They find some open field here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They run again with Jackson. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Set. 319. 319.
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Tight on this side, boys. Tight on the left. Tight on the left. Move.
All right, here we go. Green 30.
On second down, Lynch. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Tight end right. Tight end right.
They come up in an offset eye.
Green 39. Green 39.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
All right, here we go. 56. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Watch the shit. Hey, hey. Watch the
The
shit.
play clock's running
Here we
down.
go.
Now it's Jackson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up second and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Check 25.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
Check.
Green 39.
Now it's Lynch. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And out of bounds right around the 20. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Now let's go. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Back here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On the ground, this is Jackson. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. second down. Here's Lynch. And he will find his man on the outside. 18 yards there, and it'll be first and goal.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
Hey.
Here we go now.
Four down.
And the offense in a great spot. It's first and goal from the 3. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And the seemingly endless drive continues.
Here we go now. 3-19 Philly. Here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Gun.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the second quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
And Myers able to knock it through, and they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they take it all the way to the 1-yard line, but in the end, they opt for 3.
I know if this was a video game, they never would have gone for the field goal because, Brandon, who kicks field goals in video games? But you've got to make sure you get points, and that was as easy a 3 as you can get.
You kick field goals in video games. That's who kicks field goals in video games. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They're going to look to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now a look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
Single.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Here we go now. Green 30.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And incomplete here to bring up 4th down as the rookie couldn't haul it in. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Fielded at the 20. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point kicker. Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Time to step aside. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Three down. Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight ends right.
They come out here in the
Here we go
eye.
now.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just run them in here.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Hey, boys, got four down.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
Mike.
Blue 90.
53. Mike.
They give it to him right up the gut. So he got 3 on 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
3-19.
They go play action now. Lynch. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Big sack on 2nd down. Now the offense needs to convert here on 3rd.
All right, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. 3-19.
He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. So we've come up. All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. 3rd quarter now. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12.
4 down.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Leopard.
Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. Paul bringing it in. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They come out here in the eye.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Time running out here on the play clock. Here's Lynch to throw. He finds Hearns left side. 18 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good from Jacksonville, first down. Fresh set of downs here.
Now let's go! Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up!
And now here's a carry heading left. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Now let's go! Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Watch the twist!
And to give this time to the tailback. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
Green, 39!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. This one from 46 yards out. And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
They go play action here on first down. And it's intercepted. A great read and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it. I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Double tight, double tight. 4 down, 4 down.
Set! Boom! Under crush, under crush, under crush. All right, now
Play
look
clock
at 56.
winding down.
Lucky 56.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And the lead is now 13. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Falcons now. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Tight left, tight left. Alert, alert. 3 down, 3 down.
Set! Green, 3.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Set! Green!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Watch left.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
In motion left, Robinson.
Leopard. Leopard. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
But he was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on 3rd. On 3rd down, Lynch. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
Atlanta now coming out on the field.
Double tight. Double tight.
All right, here we go. 3-19. Now, look at 56. Green.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Hey.
Set. Green.
Back to throw. And incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And it's 3rd down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. And the offense needs 7 out of this play on 3rd down. Another pistol look here.
Hurry up. Here we go. Over.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got Moncrief. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
They were full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key 1st down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye.
Now, check. Patriot. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Really tough drive, but that run help salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Hey, boys, got 4 down.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll give it to him to line up the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. Third down now following the completed pass.
Hey, right. Solo out there. Check the outs out there.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
4 down.
On 3rd and 1, it's Lynch. And Robinson with a big catch. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And down inside the 15 he goes. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
Double tight. Hey, we
And they'll run it here. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now look at 56. That's it now, Barney. Green 39.
They'll give it here to his running back. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They come out here in the eye.
Green 30. Over. All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Now they'll look to throw, and he's got his big receiver Robinson for the Jacksonville touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And they're going to speed things up here.
No. Check. Patriot. Detroit. 39.
They'll look to throw here on first down. This complete left side to Aguilar. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. He'll drop to throw. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the former first-rounder, D. Milliner. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days. Offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Just 40 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Set. Blue line.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. First down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
2 yards to go here on 3rd down.
Hey.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. Well, let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football, Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Gun! Hurry up, here we go!
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
No, check, Patriot!
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield.
No, check, Patriot! Set, green!
They'll look to throw here. He goes underneath to Freeman. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Tight end's right. Three down.
Here we go now!
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got Moncrief. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They come out here in the eye. Well, now they'll try the end around. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
It was a play that was designed to trick the defense, to try and fool them. They didn't gain a huge chunk of yardage, but they did pick up a first down.
Now let's go! Green!
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Jaguars, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they wanted desperately to finish at 500, but that won't happen as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.